Hey, baseball fans. Welcome back to Tits and Streams, your go-to channel for daily baseball predictions. I'm Koken, and I'm here to give you the inside scoop on today's top matchups. Before we dive into today's picks, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on our latest predictions. If you enjoy our content, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends who love baseball and sports betting. Our channel relies entirely on your support. We don't have any sponsors, so every like, share, and comment helps us keep going. If you'd like to support us even more, consider donating by pressing the thanks button under this video. We love hearing from you. Drop a comment below. Your feedback makes our channel better. All right, let's get into today's predictions. Today we have predictions for 4 MLB games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Washington Nationals and Chicago Cubs. The Cubs and Nationals are gearing up for an afternoon showdown at Wrigley Field, and both teams are itching to prove themselves. The Nationals managed to score 6 runs on Thursday but still couldn't pull off a win as their pitching faltered, allowing 7 runs. Joey Gallo shined with a homer and 3 RBIs, but overall, the Nationals' performance has been inconsistent. This season, they've been averaging 4.12 runs per game while allowing 4.78, putting them near the bottom of the league in both offense and pitching. Their offensive ranking sits at 23rd, with pitching at 24th, and a rough 0.64 run differential. One bright spot has been C.J. Abrams, who's hit 20 home runs and driven in 65 RBIs. Washington's Trevor Williams is taking the hill, boasting an impressive 5-0 record and a sharp 2.22 ERA. In his last outing against the Braves, Williams was in control, going 5.2 innings and giving up just 1 run on 4 hits. He's been a revelation this season, mowing down opposing lineups like we haven't seen from him in previous years. On the Cubs side, they're coming off a tight 7-6 win on Thursday, where Cody Bellinger contributed 2 hits and 3 RBIs, keeping the momentum alive. Chicago's offense is putting up 4.59 runs per game, and their pitching is holding opponents to 4.18. They rank 12th in offense and 11th in pitching. Ian Happ has been a rock for the Cubs, with 25 home runs and 85 RBIs on the year. Jameson Taillon is getting the start, coming in with a 10-8 record and a 3.54 ERA. His last game saw him pitch 6 innings, giving up 2 runs on 5 hits against the Rockies. Taillon's been a bit of a roller coaster this season. He's been hot lately, posting a 1.42 ERA in his last 3 starts, but earlier in the season, he had some rough outings, giving up 4 or more runs. It's anyone's guess which version of Taillon will show up, but recent performances suggest he's found his groove. The Nationals have struggled against right-handers lately, batting just 178 over their last 10 games, while the Cubs have fared better, hitting 282 against righties in that same stretch and 308 against lefties. But Chicago's bullpen has been a weak spot, with a 4.71 ERA over their last 10 games, and Washington's relief isn't much better at 4.76, though they've faced stiffer competition. Even though the Cubs have that rich baseball history, these Friday games at Wrigley often add to their reputation as lovable losers. However, this matchup might tell a different story. The Nationals have split their last 6 games, and the Cubs have lost 4 of their last 6. Washington's offense holds the advantage here, especially against right-handers like Taillon, who has had trouble in recent home starts, giving up 5 runs in his last 3 outings at Wrigley and struggling in his last 5 games against the Nationals. On the flip side, the Cubs' bats might struggle against Williams, who has only allowed 8 runs over his last 6 starts. In 4 recent road games, he's given up just 7 runs, suggesting he could keep Chicago in check. With the Cubs batting only 239 against righties and Williams in top form, Washington seems poised to cover the money line in this one. I expect Williams to be the deciding factor here. Even though the Nationals are out of the playoff race, Williams has been solid, especially after coming off the injured list. The Nationals were 9-2 in games he started before his injury, and his return could tilt the game in their favor. While the Cubs are clinging to slim playoff hopes, they'll likely struggle to get the bats going against Williams, especially considering their .230 home batting average. I'm backing the Nationals to pull off the win here, with Williams leading the charge and Chicago's offense continuing to sputter.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the Toronto Blue Jays and Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays and Toronto Blue Jays are gearing up for another clash after both teams wrapped up their previous series with wins. Toronto is riding high off a shutout victory, blanking the Texas Rangers 4-0 in their series finale. Kevin Gausman delivered a stellar outing, tossing 5 hitless innings, walking just 1, and striking out 6. While the Blue Jays' offense wasn't electric, they did enough to get the job done, with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. being the standout performer, even in a 13-8 loss where he cranked out 2 solo homers. On the flip side, the Rays just concluded a battle against their divisional foes, the Boston Red Sox. After securing a strong 8-3 win to open the series, Tampa Bay faltered in Game 2, falling 2-1. However, they bounced back in style with a 2-0 shutout in the final game, thanks to a dominant performance from Zach Littell, who gave up just 1 hit while striking out 7. Looking at tonight's showdown, Toronto will send Jose Barrios to the mound. He's been on a tear lately, posting a 3-0 record in his last 3 starts, giving up only 2 earned runs over 19 innings. Barrios is in fine form and has a solid track record against the Rays, which should give the Blue Jays an edge. On the other hand, Tampa Bay's offense has been struggling, averaging just 3.81 runs per game. Their bullpen, while showing flashes of brilliance, has been inconsistent, as seen in their series against Boston. It's been a season of ups and downs for both teams. The Blue Jays are struggling in the standings, sitting at the bottom of the AL East, and are looking at a losing season. The Rays, meanwhile, are fighting to finish with a respectable record. Both teams made moves at the trade deadline, with Tampa Bay looking more toward the future by offloading some key players, while Toronto held on to their core, likely eyeing a stronger run next season. The Blue Jays' offense has been inconsistent, especially against left-handed pitching, hitting just 200 over their last 10 games. But they found more success against righties, posting a .248 average. Their bullpen has been shaky, with a noticeable gap compared to the Rays' relief corps. However, with Barrios on the mound and Guerrero heating up at the plate, I believe Toronto will have the upper hand in this one. Given Barrios' recent dominance, the Blue Jays' improved approach at the plate, and Tampa Bay's lackluster offense, I'm confident Toronto will come out on top tonight. The Blue Jays are averaging 4.29 runs per game, and with Barrios likely to deliver another strong performance, I expect them to provide enough run support to secure the win. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Philadelphia Phillies and New York Mets. It's a heated National League East rivalry this Friday as the New York Mets take on the Philadelphia Phillies at Citi Field. The Phillies, sitting at a comfortable 91-62, are ahead by 6 games in the division, but enter this matchup with back-to-back losses weighing them down. Meanwhile, the Mets have been rolling, riding a 4-game win streak that's launched them into a tie with the Arizona Diamondbacks for the second wildcard spot. Things are heating up. The National League wildcard race is a real dogfight now, with the Mets, Diamondbacks, and Padres all clawing for that final playoff berth. The Mets have managed to build some momentum lately, distancing themselves from teams like the Braves, who were once the frontrunners in the wildcard race, but have stumbled at the worst possible time. On the mound, we've got Chris Sanchez starting for the Phillies and David Peterson getting the ball for the Mets. Both guys have had their highs and lows this season. Sanchez has posted a decent 3.24 ERA, but let's be real, it's not the full story. He's coughed up 9 home runs and handed out 38 walks, over 174 hits in 172 innings. While his last outing against the Mets back on September 15th was solid, just 1 run allowed, I'm not sold on him keeping the Mets' bats quiet for long. Peterson, on the other hand, has also been up and down, but his recent performance against the Phillies was strong, giving up just 1 run over 7.2 innings. His 2.85 ERA looks nice, but just like Sanchez, the numbers only tell part of the tale. His strikeout-to-walk ratio isn't something to brag about, 43 walks and 89 strikeouts over 110 innings, and he's given up 8 homers. Still, Peterson has been delivering when it matters lately, and he's been one of the more reliable arms for the Mets in recent weeks. When it comes to hitting, the Phillies have been the more dominant team in the division, but their recent struggles are showing. Against right-handers, they've hit 220, and they've managed just 214 against lefties over the last 10 games. The Mets, though, have been crushing lefties lately, hitting 288 over that same stretch. And while their bullpen has been shaky, with a 4.81 ERA, the Mets have been unbeatable at home, winning 30 of their last 41 games at Citi Field. Historically, the Phillies have had the Mets' number, winning 12 of their last 17 meetings. But you can't ignore the way the Mets have been playing recently. They've gone 19-7 in their last 26 games, and they're heating up at the perfect time. I'm all in on the Mets here. Peterson, even after a rough outing against the Blue Jays earlier this month, bounced back in his last start against the Phillies, giving up just 9 runs in his last 25 innings. The Mets have won 6 of his last 8 starts, and I think he'll step up again. Sanchez has been shaky on the road, posting a 5.13 ERA and a 3-6 record in 66.2 innings away from home. The Mets' offense is waking up too. 4 homers on Thursday with 9 RBIs. If they keep that momentum going, they'll be in a prime spot to take this one. The Phillies might have the division all but wrapped up, but the Mets are fighting to hold on to that wild card spot. The Braves are breathing down their necks, just 2 games back. With Peterson delivering in clutch moments and the Mets firing on all cylinders, I'm confident New York will get the job done. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Cleveland Guardians and St. Louis Cardinals. In this upcoming interleague matchup, I'm expecting a tight contest between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians, fresh off clinching a playoff spot with a thrilling walk-off win, come into this game with momentum and an impressive 89-65 record. They've been riding high, especially when they managed to score 4 or more runs, a feat that's led to 11 straight wins. That kind of consistency at the plate has been their hallmark this season. On the flip side, the Cardinals have been battling inconsistency all year. They sit at 77-76, and while they've shown flashes of life offensively with 15 runs in their last 3 games, they've also been stuck in a rut, scoring 3 or fewer in 7 of their last 10. It's hard not to think that their playoff hopes are all but dashed, which is a tough pill to swallow for a franchise that's used to competing in October. Cleveland is handing the ball to Ben Lively, who's had a solid season overall but has been a bit shaky on the road. His 4.7 record and ERA north of 4.0 away from home could spell trouble against a Cardinals lineup trying to salvage something from this season. Meanwhile, St. Louis counters with Kyle Gibson, a veteran who's been up and down this year. Gibson has shown he can still deliver, as he did in his last home start with 6 shutout innings against the Mariners. But his 4.78 ERA at Busch Stadium makes him a bit of a gamble. Offensively, I've got to give the edge to the Guardians. Their bats have been more consistent, while the Cardinals have struggled mightily against right-handers lately, batting just 226 over the past couple of weeks. The numbers don't lie, and if veterans like Arenado and Goldschmidt don't step up, it could be a long night for St. Louis. One thing I'm keeping an eye on is the bullpen battle. Cleveland's relievers have been lights out, boasting a 1.63 ERA over the last 2 weeks. That's a huge asset in a close game. While the Cardinals' bullpen has also been solid, I'm more confident in the Guardians' ability to lock it down in the late innings. Now, even though the Guardians are clearly the stronger team on paper, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of a letdown here. Coming off the emotional high of clinching a playoff spot, Cleveland could be due for a slight dip in intensity, and with the Cardinals playing at home and showing some offensive life, I think there's a real chance they can sneak away with a narrow victory. I'm leaning toward St. Louis in this one, but it'll be tight.